Happy Valentine's Day to all from your brothers, Thrice brothers. Today we are going to discuss our significant others' favorite rom-com movies. We decided that we needed to bring in some outside thoughts and opinions because, as our intro usually says, is that we are a close-knit family, but we have very different ideas and hobbies and whatnot. But we really don't have that different ideas and stuff on movies. So we figured we'd bring in some outside sources.
I think we do.
Well,
on something like...
you want me to finish or you want to cut me off?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm here with my brothers.
Oh, sorry. I will.
I'm Brian.
How you doing?
And you are?
Oh, I'm Kevin. How you doing?
There you go. I think, you should introduce yourself first, then go on.
You know, we've thrown out the script a while ago.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so we asked our lovely ladies of ours. We're all straight. We all have ladies. Hell yeah.
Ladies.
Good one, Bams.
And we asked them for their top three of each for the rom-com / romantic movies. Just something that with
rom and rom-com.
If rom is in the movie, it's allowed to be a pick. So we have some picks that were interesting, and that's for sure. But we'll see how it goes.
So we are arguing for the ladies' picks, whether you like the movie or not.
Right, we're defending our ladies' honor. I like that.
Yeah.
So like we got on the phone with all of us and they picked their picks like we do for bracket style, but just their picks only. We had hopefully no collusion, guys, no interfering with their picks. It was their picks only, right?
No. Well, you see, when my wife Crystal came up with the idea, we originally planned for it to be the ladies would
give it credit for the big salad.
Yeah, gotta get credit.
Shout out.
The ladies were going to pick their top threes without us, and then we were just going to look at them like on air, like starting off have to defend it without having to like think about it or think about it ahead of time. But then it seemed like Will helped Emily with her pick. Brian was talking with his pick. Well, you were talking about it, and Brian was there, so I was like, "Oh, I guess now I should know too." So, and then
I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was. I just was
on the text messages that I sent.
I'm sorry.
Fully, then maybe we'd be on the same page.
Well, to be honest, since we were on that phone call and they made their picks, I haven't thought about it since. So I'm kind of going in blind, honestly. Even though I have it written here, I don't really remember.
Why are you giving people a look behind the curtain, Will? You come in every week without any sort of thinking about it or anything.
That's not true. None of us do. I have deep thoughts during my prep and earlier about everything.
Sure. Deep thoughts.
I already have bullet points in my brain about the movies that she picked that I already have.
Wait, you just said you didn't think about it. Oh my goodness! Now he's lying on air.
No, it was a joke about like how I'm obsessed about it. I just kind of like in my head I have a couple things I want to say about.
You didn't obsess about it, but I have 18 bullet points for each movie.
Like 2, not even. Some of them I'm just gonna wing because that's how I roll.
Yeah, that's how you roll.
I have bullet points up in the dome.
Oh,
so
the dome.
I'm good.
Are you guys doing anything special for Valentine's Day?
No.
This episode comes out on Valentine's Day, but this weekend it's a Monday this year, so kind of like the weekend before.
And the day before is the Super Bowl.
That's true. So
how romantic.
Yeah.
How romantic. And I also have a meeting at school or after school until like 4:45. So I'm gonna be shot. We're gonna come home and be like, "I love you. Here's some flowers," and then go to sleep.
Well,
I think Brie has to work
too. The Saturday, you guys could do something nice if you want.
Oh yeah, we could try.
We could try.
I mean, I got work to do, man. Work never stops. My hamster on a wheel.
Love never stops.
That's true. Love. What about you, Brian? Anything?
Nope, Bree's working. So.
Well, on the whole weekend. Or just
well, yes, this is her weekend on, so the whole weekend.
Oh jeez.
So what are you gonna do for Valentine's Day for yourself?
I'm gonna hang out with my other girlfriend, Pepper, my
Ah.
dog.
I was
But are you
thinking.
gonna-
I was thinking of a dirty thing.
Oh, Will.
Jill. You ever hear of Jill?
Will,
Shut
you're
up.
gross.
J
What about?
I L L.
Yeah, we get the reference. Will, thank you.
Well, I'm sure mom's like, "Who's Jill?" And I get it. It's your hand, mama. It happens.
Oh no.
I had hand.
And you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
But are you gonna play any
That's two
games or
Seinfeld
something?
references.
You gonna sit all by yourself
gonna-
and just pet the dog? You gonna watch something?
Oh, I don't know. I'll just see where the night takes me. You know,
Oh.
it's like that all the time. Whenever
spontaneous and
because
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
gonna light some
my
candles.
lady works nights. My lady
Yeah.
works nights, so it's kind of like whatever I want to do. Kind of just chilling, or I'm gonna do some painting or some playing some instruments, whatever I want to do.
Light some candles. Make yourself a nice dinner.
Have a nice bath.
Yeah.
Eat
Get
chocolates.
get some red wine.
Chocolates in the tub.
Rose petals.
You ever see that video?
I
of someone,
dropped the chocolates in the tub.
someone
No,
has.
don't do that.
There's a tub. There's one. You ever see the video? The guy's like, or guy. I just assume it's a guy. He has like a full pizza on like a stand, and then the stand falls in the tub,
Oh,
and it's like
yeah.
pizza's just floating. It's so sad because it's like looks like it's a setup, and it just falls right in the bath water. It's like, oh
That's
no.
a weird bath bomb.
Pizza bath bomb.
Oregano-y.
Let's get going on this brackets. So
yeah.
So the 8 and 9 starting off, I believe, is 8 is Princess Bride, which was my bride's pick,
Oh, good one.
and then
Nice.
Brian, you Can't Buy Me Love is yours. Oh, not yours, is
Mhm.
Breeze, which is yours to defend.
Correct.
So should I start off with Princess Bride? 8 and 8 and
This-
9 C
the-
these are.
The stage is yours.
Oh, thank you, sir. So Princess Bride, have y'all seen it?
Yes.
Not all of it. Parts of it.
Okay, well, honestly, Em picked this on her own. It was on her list, and I absolutely. This is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. Without
Whoa.
Both these movies came out in 1987. Actually,
did they
Interesting.
really?
Yes.
Did you see? He did research. he did something.
I just pulled them up
Oh,
on
okay.
Google right now.
Google.
I have one tab for each movie.
Wow.
Shout out to Google,
So-
sponsor.
Princess Bride. It's just such a unique, fun movie. Where it's little Fred Savage is sick, and his grandpa comes over to read him a story, and then
This
once
isn't the one with Steve Martin, right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's Father of the Bride.
Father of the Bride is Father of the Bride is that's a different movie altogether.
That couldn't
Oh.
have been. That couldn't be a more different movie.
Yeah.
Is this the
So do
movie
you-
that I think is Robin Hood Men in Tights because it looks the
Yes.
same?
Well, it's
Okay.
Yes, it's the same
It's
actor.
the same actor. That,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember his name, but yeah, that guy plays Robin Hood Red in Tights. But it looks like
Isn't
that.
Andre the Giant in this movie too?
Yeah, I'm the bubbly one, the peanut.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. So okay, Fred Savage is sick. His grandpa comes over to read him a story, and then we're thrown into the story of Princess Buttercup. Well, she's not Princess Buttercup. It's him and then the stable boy, which is the actor. I can't remember his name. Brian, look at what's his name? You're looking at the page?
Carrie Elwes.
Sure, never would have known that my entire life. The blonde guy from Saw and other
Yes,
things.
Carrie Elwes. Elwes or whatever.
So he's the stable boy, and then she they like have like a a romance, and then the biggest thing is like she asks him to do something. He's always like, as you wish, and then he goes away to fight in a war or something. I can't remember why he leaves. She's like, no, don't leave. And then I love you, and then she just assumes he's dead in war or whatever, and then she marries this king, or prince, actually, Prince Humperdinck, and then she
Is
becomes
that Alan Rickman?
No, that's Chris Sarandon.
he's
Who-
not
what is Alan Rickman in that?
Snape.
No, he's in another movie where he's got like. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, don't.
I've obviously never seen this movie.
It's okay. Maybe something will jog your memory. So then she doesn't love him. She still loves Wesley. I forget his name was Wesley in the movie. And then she's not into this new guy. He's kind of an asshole, which he is. But she's like, my true love is dead, and and then the guy who's the voice of Rex in I can't remember his name. The voice of Rex in Toy Story.
Wallace Shawn.
Shawn, love him. This is his big line in this movie is inconceivable.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say did trigger something.
Seen that part. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
inconceivable. So then
it's little snippets, and there's Inigo Montoya guy.
Inigo Montoya is don't tell me his name, Brian. I know it. It sounds like a lady's name, but it's not. It's his name. Oh, God damn it! I always just tell me.
Phyllis.
It's Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin. That's it. Okay, so Mandy Patinkin, Wallace Shawn, and Andre the Giant are three like bandits who then kidnap the princess to then, I guess, for ransom with they try to start a war because I think the king is in on it, the prince is in on it to start a war with a neighboring kingdom or whatever. So like they're gonna say that the neighboring kingdom kidnapped the princess to then start a war. That's really not important either way. So then
Get to the point.
The bandit comes and is gonna save her, and you don't know who he is. He's masked. Obviously, it's the Wesley guy though, because we are not idiots. But she doesn't know that, even though he's just wearing a little mask. But the Inigo Montoya has a sword fight with him. He bests the sword fight. He knocks out Andre the Giant with a rock, or like chokes him out. Actually, chokes him out. So he defeats the giant with strength, and then he tricks Wallace Shawn with a mind game of having two poisons. And then Wesley says, "All right, a mind game. If you can guess which one has the poison, I'll die and you could take her away and it doesn't matter." So he puts poison in one of them, and then then it's just mind games back and forth, and then he ends up and then while Shawn's laughing and he dies, and then he's like, "I actually put poison in both of them. I've over the years I've got a tolerance to this kind of poison." It's badass. It's cool. Awesome dialogue, and it's a love story between them. And then the prince is an asshole, and he goes into the pit of despair. He puts him into the pit of despair to suck out his soul, but then he's brought by Andre the Giant and Inigo Montoya, who "You killed my father, prepare to die." Best line in any movie ever.
That's
then they bring
him
to the speech is legendary. Go watch.
It's very famous.
Go watch.
It's famous, but best line in a movie ever.
It's up there.
That's
It's honestly,
drastic.
if you went and probably say top 100 movie quotes, that would definitely be on. I guarantee it.
Top
Yeah, for sure.
100. Your
Well,
best all
of all
time would be like
time?
number
Of all time?
one.
Of all time, that's a lot. There's a lot of quotes. All right. Anyway,
You gotta change
it
your
up.
quote. You change your quote to say the one of the best movies
All
quotes
right,
of all
Jesus
time.
Christ,
Not
don't
the
dissect my
best movie
words.
quote of all time.
anyway, they bring him to Billy Crystal in old man makeup, who's dead, not all the way dead, just partly dead. And then they bring him back. He makes
Mike
like an elixir.
Wazowski.
Yeah, pretty much. And then he makes him an elixir that helps him bring back to life, but he can't use his arms and legs yet. And then it doesn't matter. But the ROM of it is Wesley and Buttercup, as you wish. True, they talk about true love constantly throughout the movie. It's a great adventure fantasy storybook thing. There's rats of unusual size in the fire swamp. It's all just amazing. Go watch it, Kev. It's really like one of my favorite movies. It's so fun. And that's the romance of Wesley and Buttercup, the dreaded Pirate Roberts.
The Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. Coming to a theater near you.
In 1987.
Hey.
All right.
Stuff.
Going up against my lady's pick, Can't Buy Me Love, 1987. Main character, Patrick Dempsey, Mick Dreamy.
Himself.
Patrick Dempsey.
A young Patrick Dempsey is a nerdy nerd in high school. All he wants to be is popular. It's a classic 80s rom-com. And his neighbor, Cindy, is a gorgeous, popular girl. And he has always had such a huge crush on her, classic girl next door, but can never get her attention because she's so popular and he's such a dork. And he saves up $1,000 to buy
$1,000.
to buy this really fancy telescope. So
to look into her window, what a peeping Tom.
No, because
Really?
he's an astronomy buff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was
So,
gonna say,
He's one of those nerds.
Yeah. So one day, Cindy borrows her mom's like fancy dress to go to a party, even though her mother said she couldn't borrow it.
Oh,
And
she
some
disobeyed.
some drunk dude spilled red wine on her
Oh,
white
oh,
blouse,
it's a white
dress, whatever it
dress.
was.
Well, what kind
Mhm.
of 80s party is a weird party is this? They're drinking red wine in a high school.
Oh, because it was supposed to be like this. One guy thought he was like posh and fancy, so he was drinking red
Ah,
wine
that
when
makes
everybody else
sense.
was smashing.
Well, they
beer
also
cans
they
on their
just need
forehead.
to be like the worst stain possible, probably.
Exactly, exactly.
Natty
So,
Light's not really gonna make too much of a stain.
Was
Nah,
Natty
that'll
Light
come right out.
around in '87?
Look, club soda, that'll be right out. So she goes to the mall in efforts to exchange the outfit so her mother doesn't find out. But the people there are like, no, like we can't exchange.
There's this huge
Look at
freaking
it.
stain on it.
Yeah, look at it.
Idiot.
Now, coincidentally, Patrick Dempsey, McDreamy, aka Ronald, is also at the mall with holding $1,000, about to purchase his telescope when he hears the
Oh.
commotion and turns and sees.
So he's
that
trying to.
she-
So he's trying to buy love, is what you're saying, but you can't.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
exactly. So the whole thing is he offers to pay for the new outfit because coincidentally enough, the new outfit was also $1,000.
That's an
Wow.
expensive
So-
dress. That's really expensive.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So he offers
was
to buy.
Was it her mom's wedding dress? What is this?
No, it was like just like this fancy like silks something or whatever. It was,
Jeez,
it was
that's
like
quite
a
a-
top or something.
Quite an outfit.
Yeah. So he offers a proposition in that he will pay for a new outfit
If you
with
have sex with me.
$1,000. So here's where I thought it was going. Like he will just buy it for her so that she'll notice him and then she'll fall in love, blah blah blah. But this took a weird left turn when I didn't see this coming. He offers to purchase the new outfit under one condition. She goes out with him for like a month so that he can become popular. So his entrance, getting his foot in the door of popularity, is to be seen with her. It's like, oh my God, did you see Cindy's going with Ronald Miller? Ronald Miller, what a dork. Then he gains popularity.
Even though
he
he's a
gets into the
handsome young
circle.
Patrick Dempsey.
Exactly. Well, I mean, they dressed him up to look like a really nerdy guy, but she changed his look and everything.
Does he have
so she's
glasses?
like, no, he does not.
Oh, wow.
So
Nerds.
So the deal is that they go out for a month and then they like stage a breakup so that he's now in the popular crowd and she
And
doesn't
just-
have to deal and she doesn't have to worry about that and everything. So
But she,
after
was
a
she
month
worried?
goes by,
Was she worried about committing like social suicide though by dating a nerd?
yes, but if she was in a bind, she was gonna get crucified by her mother, so she needed the thing.
What would her
you
mom
know?
do? Just ground her? She wouldn't get like killed.
It's an 80s
You don't
movie. I don't know.
My mom's
It's an
gonna
80s
kill me. Actually, kill me. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
dead.
So as the month goes by, they, at first they're like, oh, like this is gonna be so annoying, like he's such a dork. But then they get to know each other, and she starts to develop feelings for him. But as the month
Oh.
goes by, he's like, okay, so we just have to like break this off now. Like this was really good. Like they really bought it. It was awesome. She begins to get disappointed in that, like, whoa, I don't think he feels the same way. But in his mind, he's such an idiot. He's like, oh, she would never go for me anyway. This was all just a ruse. So like, it's part of the deal. So it doesn't completely over his head. He has no idea. So they stage a breakup, but he is a big old dick about it. And he like kind of puts it on her, like they do it in public in the cafeteria. So then, yeah, it's
Chicken
a
nugget
big
day.
thing. Yeah. So she has a falling out with the popular crowd while Ronald is now the it boy and he becomes somebody who he is not. The popularity goes to his head. He becomes a big old man whore and he
Man
is
whore.
he's just like a douche to everybody. And he is a big butthole to his nerdy nerd friends that he played cards with every
course,
night.
of
He
course.
completely blew them off. And
All the
he-
tropes are here.
Yep, he completely blew them off and got rid of them for the popular people. And he was really sad. But the kicker was that on Halloween night, Ronald is hanging out with the popular jock football player, like meathead dicks, right? So
Meathead
on Halloween
dicks.
night, they're driving around town. They're like, we score this house every single year. This is going to be an awesome year.
Penny
So
raid.
they have
We
they have
score here
toilet
all the
paper.
time.
I guess you're gonna miss.
Why did you tell me this is my mother's
That
house?
episode would
You
never
didn't
air
ask.
today.
I think they
You
took it
didn't
down.
ask.
They think they
Yeah,
took it down.
panty raid is no bueno.
Sad.
Wait,
That was a
what,
great
Eugene, what are you
episode.
doing with my bloomers?
Why don't you tell me this is my mother's house? You didn't ask.
The why?
So-
Why wouldn't he know it's his mother's house?
Yeah, he knows where his mom lives and look. The house
It's
looks
dark.
like.
I don't know.
They blindfolded
So-
his weird stalks. All right, continue, Bri.
Yeah, his stocks.
His eyes.
So anyway, where was I? Okay, so yeah, so they're in this car. They're driving to the house. They're driving to the house to score. They have toilet paper. They have eggs, and they have a bag of shit that they're going to light on fire and throw at the house.
Throw
Yeah.
at the house.
it's a-
Not I'm like on the doorstep. Just actually throw it at the whole.
Oh no,
house?
they didn't light it on fire. It was just like a bag of dog diarrhea that they were just gonna bomb the house and just have it explode on the house.
Jesus.
Lo and behold, they
A's
pull
are
up to the
crazy.
house. They pull up to the house, and Ron's like, "Oh no, this is his ex. Well, not ex. Well, his old
The
best
fake ex.
friend's house. The nerdy guy that they blew off. This is his house." And they're like, "Oh," and Ron's like, "I can't do this." And they're like, "Oh, what are you like a chicken or whatever?" Like, and then so blinded by the popularity, he goes through with it anyway, and he throws a bag of shit on his good friend's house, and his friend sees the whole thing because since it happens every year, they were on high alert trying to catch them. So then he caught Ronald in the act and saw his face, and he was so shocked. And then like,
I'm not shocked that it was
Ronald-
shocked that it was Ronald. More shocked that you're throwing dog shit at my house. What's wrong?
no,
with you?
because they do it every year. Those assholes
that's-
do it every year.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
much?
so
How much?
then-
Like one load, or they go around like find like a dog park and just collect
it was
all of
probably. It was a dog park. They said they got it
it.
from a
Oh,
dog
okay.
park. Yeah.
There you go.
So that guy feeling betrayed even more so than he already has. And Ronald felt horrible. And then, at the end, they realized, popularity is not a real thing. We were all friends in elementary school. Like, what happened? Blah, blah, blah. And then they have this
You've
big,
changed, man.
what? Yeah, we're not all that different. Blah, 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 blah. And at the end, Cindy goes back to him, and she was like, I actually started to develop feelings for the real Ronald, not whoever this guy became.
Oh.
And then she was like, oh, maybe another chance or whatever. And they were like, yeah. And then they rode off into the sunset on a lawnmower because he was a landscaper for Cindy's house. I forgot to mention that before.
That seems like a
The
major plot
end.
point.
No,
it's not that way.
Interesting.
It's a good. I thought it was a very sweet
a lot of
movie.
a lot of
and,
interesting, a lot of same tropes.
Yeah.
But that's that. Sometimes
That's
you
an
like,
80s movie.
but it's like
Yeah.
you
And the
define
comic relief,
safety, and
the comic relief for
tropes.
this
Go ahead.
movie was Ronald's little brother Chucky, who was a young Seth Green.
Oh yeah, he was in a lot of stuff
Yeah.
when he was young.
Yeah, I did not know that. He came out, I was like, is that Seth Green? It was
Yeah.
funny.
It was funny.
So there you go. There's Can't Buy Me Love. We kind of went through the entire plot of this whole movie for like a
Well,
half hour. But
Princess Bride and that one, because we're filling the gap for anyone who hasn't seen it. There's other movies that are very much more popular. I think everyone we don't
yeah,
go
sure.
into
We
it
don't
as
have
much.
to do that.
But these
Yeah.
ones were a little more I guess niche for pretty much just for
Yeah.
Kev. Well, I didn't see the movie yet. I didn't see the movie you said either. So
Well, now you feel like maybe you have. So
I
there
feel
you
like
go.
I've definitely seen the whole thing in my mind right now. I could watch the whole thing while you're talking about it. You painted a good picture.
Speaking of
That's
80s
good, I'm
movies,
glad.
Bri, what's going on with your hair? We're doing the 80s, 90s middle part now?
No, it's just in the weird transition phase of growing out. So this is where it's falling.
Yeah,
for today.
my hair's not doing anything. It's just not saying. I showered and then it just gets fluffy.
Fluffy.
Yeah.
All right, well, are you guys keeping your ladies' picks?
I am.
I am because because I found
Because Em's listening and she'll beat you.
No, she's not listening, and well, this is one of my favorite movies, honestly. Like
Not
without her
that she
pick.
wouldn't beat me, but she's just
she's
not
not
listening.
Right. No, but I honestly, for me, Princess Bride does more than just having like the romantic stuff, because that's a very big part of it. But like, there's action, there's adventure, there's like sci-fi, not sci-fi, fantasy, all this fun stuff.
Spaceships.
No spaceships. It's all very fantasy, but it's just so much fun of a movie.
I find it really funny that for the listeners, Will for the longest time would say how much he hates fantasy things. Hates it.
I didn't say
Will
hate. I
never
said I didn't.
you
I enjoyed sci-fi
hated
much
it.
more.
No.
I've
You said
watched.
you
I still
disliked
have to.
fantasy stuff all the time, and then now you like all the fantasy things. You like playing Dungeons and Dragons and all the fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Now you like it. You are so adamant.
I'm allowed to grow and appreciate new things. What's wrong with that?
No, it's just you were staunch.
You didn't catch me. You didn't catch me in a lie. I didn't. I used to not like it, and then I grew to like things. I still don't like everything because I've watched Lord of the Rings, and I watched the first two, and I have to watch the Return of the King still.
So that one's.
It's
I
just
think the second
so
one's
they're
the
just
best,
so
but
dang long, and a lot of
they're
it's
long.
boring to me. Like honestly, like they're cool when their movies are when they're really going. They're cool, but otherwise, I'm like,
Yeah,
it's just.
they're long, but also
I prefer Star Wars over Lord of the Rings. It's just how I roll.
Anyway,
So,
Brian, you staying with your pick?
Yeah,
Yes, I am.
He said yeah. So what are you doing,
Okay.
Kev? What's your decision?
I feel since I haven't really seen either of them,
Yeah.
I feel like I have to go with The Princess Bride just because it is more quotable. I've heard quotes from that movie more so than anything else. I know of it, even though I've never really seen it. And the other one I thought was a Beatles song. So
it is. And actually, the credit, the intro and outro credits were that song playing. So,
all right,
Well,
well, it does not move on.
Sorry,
Well,
Beagle. We just didn't. We haven't seen it. Apologize to
no,
Bree.
it's quite all right. It's quite all right. Now that you know the
'Cause-
entire movie, go ahead.
Yeah,
and
now
see
we
it.
don't need to see it. You pretty much.
No, I
said-
don't need to see it. Perfect.
Yeah, you're right. You got
But
me there.
Kev, you should watch Princess Bride. It's really like a really wonderful.
I feel like I
fun
should,
movie.
but-
it's a fun movie. It's really fun.
We'll see if I have nothing else to do, which never happens. I'll put it on.
You can do it. All right. So next up, going down to Princess Bride moves on, which I think we'll lose in the next category, the next round for sure. But next up is Dirty Dancing versus Crazy Rich Asians.
Wow.
So Dirty Dancing, I think, is Bree's pick, right, Brian?
Yes.
And then Crazy Rich Asian is M's pick. Another me and Brian off.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 4 and 5. So
can we just? I would just like to make a suggestion. Can we not go through the entire plot of the movies?
no, but that
Sure.
one I said yeah. We won't.
Okay.
We did it for those just because those ones like some of them we never but I think all three of us seen all of these movies,
Yep.
both of these.
Mhm.
So this is more of a just defending why you like it more. So Brian, take it off with Dirty Dancing.
All right. So I feel like this movie wins just from one thing.
No, I've
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I was gonna go through it. Nobody puts. I was gonna say nobody puts baby in the corner, but that works.
That's
too.
That's
And
that's right
also-
before that song starts.
and the Sways.
This way is
Rest in peace.
so sad.
Yeah.
Pancreatic
I mean,
cancer
it's
is a
got-
real bitch.
Yeah. So it's got the Sways and it, like, what else could you possibly need?
And Ferris's sister.
Yeah, and
Genie. I can't see that far.
Genie baby is her her full name.
Yes. Jennifer Grey
Yep.
is and Pat Swayze are dancing, and they're dancing dirty
What point do they
This-
make the clay?
this summer.
That's in Ghost.
That's
No.
Ghost, bro. Come on, man.
That's a whole different movie with Patrick Swayze.
And
I think
Demi
you said you saw
Moore
Dirty
and
Dancing.
Whoopi.
Maybe I don't.
Oh
It's got.
my
I was
God.
close. It's got Patrick Swayze in it.
Yeah, I
and
guess.
and it's a
Close,
romance movie.
I guess that's Ghost with Demi Moore and Whoopi, and
Whoopi.
he's dead. Well, he's dead in real life now, but in the
Oh,
movie he's a
Will.
ghost. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And then the weird shadowy guys come. That's still Ghost.
that's Ghost.
Yeah, that's still
totally
Ghost.
different movie. This is then they're at the summer, like the summer
The
camp
summer
thing.
camp,
West,
yeah.
like it's supposed to be like
Mhm.
upstate New York, and then they he's like teaches dancing lessons.
Just to one
He's-
person.
No. Well,
Because he's infatuated by her.
no, he. You gotta see the movie, Kev.
I've
Uh,
definitely seen it. Well, me and Brian have played out that scene before on the beach.
Yes, we have.
What beach?
We're at the beach and Brian ran at me and we did the thing.
Oh,
and I
the
held him up.
lift. The lift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What
I'm like,
beach? Does it matter?
no, I thought you meant beach from the movie. I'm like, what beach in the movie? What are you talking about?
No, they're in a lake or
Yeah,
a
which
pond when they
we
do
me and
that.
em saw. Me and em saw like a behind the scenes of like that, and like they went back to the actual place where they filmed it. The lake dried up. There's no more lake anymore in that location. It's really
That's horrible.
funny.
Goddamn climate change
So-
ruining classic movies.
So the woman walked over. She's like, I think the lift in the lake, when they're practicing in the water, she's like, I think it's around here. And she's like, but the lake dried up. It's like, what? It's very
It's
funny.
awful.
We were like freaking out. Like the lake dried up. What the hell? Yeah, but
Somebody put the lake in the corner.
but they dance together because Patrick Swayze, Johnny's original partner had a bad abortion. And then
I
couldn't
forgot
dance.
about that.
Yeah, the blonde who he dances with got pregnant by the jerk waiter who the sister tries to date, and then he gets her pregnant, and then she has to get a schmortion, but she gets probably some butcher somewhere just didn't do it right, and then she was out for the count. And luckily, baby's dad is a doctor and helped her, and then baby then in secret learned to dance to take her spot, so they both didn't like lose their jobs. The dancers.
The guy who put baby in the corner is played by Jerry Orbach.
Jerry, from Law and Order.
I don't
Correct.
remember. Why does she get put in the corner? Is it like a actual corner?
She's sitting in the corner. He comes after, and she's like sitting in the corner of against the wall on the table at a table though. It's not not like put a kid in the corner. And he just says it's just a line. He comes over and says like nobody put baby in a corner, and then pulls her on stage when they do their final dance.
Yeah,
It's more. It's not.
The
She
dad's
wasn't
like, get out of here.
Yeah, because the dad assumed that he was the one who got his friend pregnant.
Oh, I see.
There was a lot
So
of
he was
just
like,
not-
"Don't be fraternizing with my girl."
Yeah, right.
My
And then-
daughter.
Yeah, that's what. And then the whole time
Gotcha.
at the end, he's like, "When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong," and then he, gives him a handshake. But even though at no time did Patrick Swayze just like say like, "No, that wasn't like I didn't get her pregnant. That wasn't me," but he just always like storms off and
That's
gets
what they all
moody.
say.
He just gets moody all the time because he's like, you don't know me, and he's like from the
I like
other-
dance.
Dance.
He's on the wrong side of the tracks, like coming all these rich people.
So yeah, that's Dirty Dancing classic. And you
Sorry,
know what's crazy?
Took over
Also-
the explanation, Bryce. Sorry.
No, I appreciate it.
I've
'cause I
seen it
forgot
a
most of
lot.
that.
Whenever it's on TV, and makes me stop and we watch it, and then we do the dance. No, we don't do the dance. We do some of the dance. Can't do the
Oddly enough, this movie also came out 1987. What a year!
Wow,
for
good
87.
year. Big
Yeah.
year. Wow. A lot
So,
of big year for romance.
Crazy Rich Asians. We actually watched the other day.
Oh, really?
In preparation, because I haven't seen the entirety of it. And yeah, take it away, Will. This is your actual pick. So.
It's sorry. Well, you guys didn't know about the abortion part. That's a big part of the movie.
Sorry.
I still thought they were making pots. So
that's Ghost. Get your Patrick Swayze right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So Crazy Rich Asians. Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah. What's Roadhouse then? That's a whole different movie.
That's a whole
Swayze movie.
That's a whole other Swayze movie.
Wow.
Yeah, get your Swayze in order. It's like, what about that movie when he's dancing the Chippendales with Chris Farley? Which one is that? That's an SNL skit. Oh shit. All right. So Crazy Rich Asians, just a classic.
The name speaks for itself.
They're crazy.
They're Asian
rich,
and they're crazy rich.
and they're crazy rich. It actually made me want to go to Singapore. It's a very cool looking city, and
Yeah.
well, also it helped to be crazy and rich there, of course. But it's just a really fun cast. And she always tells me how much she likes it because she's it's not like a damsel in distress kind of like oh no, I'm lost without my man kind of thing. She's upset, and obviously when things don't go the way she wants, but she's like a capable economics professor at some university in New York. It's all very it's not very it has of course tropes where it's like, oh, you didn't tell me you were rich, and then she
Right.
finds
The
out how rich he
mother-in-law's
is.
mean, and
Mother-in-law's mean, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then the way it, it's just a good, and it also is very refreshing to not to see a whole bunch of white people.
Mhm.
Literally every
Yeah.
movie we've ever watched almost is just a whole bunch of white people and maybe one black guy to go, oh damn, and that was the whole movie. That was on, like, if you look and like that's all it was. So now it was very refreshing to see an all Asian cast, in Singapore doing the thing. Awkwafina is hilarious.
Awkwafina is hilarious. She's also really funny in Shang-Chi too.
Yes, she's great. I watch, and she has a show on Comedy Central that's hilarious too. I watched all of it. Nora from Queens, shout out. But just a fun overall. It's a classic rom-com. They're together. There's some turbulence within the family. Then they kind of go, they break up, and then he's like, no, I don't care about my family. I want to marry you, and brings his mom's big old giant like emerald ring that M was like, oh my god, I want that. I'm like, sorry babe, it's not happening.
Yeah.
We ain't Crazy Rich Asians.
I am not Crazy Rich, and I'm not an Asian. Sorry, I can't handle
his mother. His mother gave him the ring because she finally accepted
approved
her.
Because she beat her in Mahjong or something.
Yeah, she
right?
beat it. Well, she like, because the whole thing about it was like, because it's very like, it was a very big cultural thing too, where it was like about her mom.
She was American.
Well, it was big deal because first it was like, oh, she's like American Chinese, she's not real, like that was a big thing. And then what do you call it? Then the big thing was about her mom. Then was like, what's it called?
Scandalous.
Yeah, it was like no, the husband cheated. I think she left or something, or I can't remember what it was.
No, her husband, Rachel Chu's the main character. Rachel. She shout out Batman. She her mother cheated essentially with her husband who beat her, so she didn't like him, obviously, so she fell in love with somebody else and got pregnant with Rachel, the main character, and then fled to America because she thought that he was going to kill her if like they found out. He was and then she never told her that,
right? But then the guy's mom was like, that's dishonorable that you did that, blah blah.
She hired a private investigator to figure that out because Rachel didn't even know. Crazy. She always thought that her dad died. And then Rachel earned her respect, and then she was like, all right, here's my ring.
You beat me in Mahjong. You're cool.
You can marry my British sounding
my British son. Well, they say because he went to school in Britain or something.
Yeah,
like
I think like he grew up in London, I believe.
Right. But overall, fun movie. Well, and I explained Dirty Dancing. Brian, you explained Crazy Rich Asians. Then
then I get to choose who wins. Yeah. Look at
that. And Ken Jeong's in it.
Oh yeah, Ken Jeong's in it. It's very fun. Well, honestly, I do love Crazy Rich Asians. It's a good, fun, very diverse, fun movie. But Dirty Dancing, even M would have to give it up for that. So I'm gonna have to go with Dirty Dancing just with this matchup for me.
Kev?
Well, are you gonna keep your pick, or are you?
No, I think I prefer Crazy Rich Asians, to be honest with you. Going this, I like the movie. I like the movie better.
So we did explain each other's options,
and then
we swap picks.
Yeah,
all right.
Wow. I just think I thought it was a more entertaining movie. So now
it's down to me again. Okay. Well, I feel like looking at them in today's like standard of movie, you have like Dirty Dancing is classic, but it's not as good of a movie, whereas Crazy Rich Asians is a better movie, just because it's not an 80s movie. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, the 80s movies are classics, but they're not actually good a lot of the times.
I've seen Dirty Dancing play time. It's pretty. Maybe it's a little slower. Like, a lot of the movies were slower then. That's just how it was. But
yeah, well, I just feel like you're more entertained by a more recent movie versus
there's more stuff happening for sure, because it's
right. It looks better.
Yeah, it's just paced. But the look, you can't. That's not their fault.
No, it's not their fault. But just if you're gonna choose a movie which is more entertaining and more visually stimulating, is going to be a good movie. But with that being said, you can't put Baby in the corner, so you got to take Dirty Dancing.
That's fair. That's fair. To you. Oh wait, that was my pick. So cool.
Yeah, and then they make the pots.
No, that's Ghost.
All right, my next episode, Kev, you have to at least watch 3 Patrick Swayze movies in full to then know the difference. That's your homework.
I thought I had to watch Princess Bride now.
You gotta make a list.
That's too many. Homework.
All right, so Dirty Dancing moves on. Even though it's not Emma's pick, I think she will agree with this. Next up is I'm gonna have all three of M's picks all at once. I go again. Number 2 pick, M's number 1 pick, Parent Trap.
That's such a weird pick.
I have some. She made sure I had this points about this movie that tell how much about it rom and com it is.
Sure.
Versus number 7 pick, which is The Proposal, which is Crystal's
third pick.
Third pick, yes. So
finally, Kev gets to say something.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, I'm a part of this podcast too.
Shut up, Kev.
All right.
Shut up, Meg. So
I'll go first. How
okay,
about that?
fine, go ahead.
All right. So The Proposal, and I feel like I've seen it only once or twice, but
Yeah,
it
I've
is
seen it
definitely
once,
one of the
probably.
funnier rom-coms I've ever seen. I mean, looking at just the cast itself, you have Ryan Reynolds and you have, rest in peace, Betty White, and Sandra Bullock. So
And
the
Sandra
top-
Bullock.
and Sandra Bullock.
Can't go
No.
wrong with Sandy Bullock. though.
Sandy Bull.
Sandy Bullock. You have Ryan Reynolds, who's hilarious. The best Betty White, and you have the mom from Elf. She's the mom in this movie. The dad is the guy from Blades of Glory. He's the coach.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all the notable people.
And he's also the voice of Mr. Incredible.
Oh yeah, look at that. I never knew that.
And he was in Poltergeist. He was the dad in Poltergeist as well.
Sure. He's also the dad in Family Stone, which is a movie that Crystal almost picked, but it's a Christmas movie. I don't like it, so I wasn't going to be able to back it up. So I was like, you ain't picking that. Anyway, The Proposal is a real funny movie. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is always funny, so it just makes it, that much better.
He's so freaking hot.
He's really well. I don't think he's really acting anymore because like every single movie,
he's just him.
he's just playing himself, which is the sarcastic like
It's like Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn and him are both like they just play themselves now. Like
Ryan Reynolds is
in
Ryan
Deadpool.
Reynolds.
In Deadpool, he was just Deadpool with makeup on. Like he's just Ryan Reynolds with makeup on. What's one where him and Jason Bateman switch bodies? In the Fountain or whatever. That's just
the
him
change up, I think.
Yeah, where it's like, well, then I guess then Jason Bateman has to act like Ryan Reynolds in that movie, which is kind of fun.
Well, did you guys see the Red Notice movie on Netflix?
No,
it's actually really good. It's
it was like the #1 movie on
Dwayne
Netflix.
The Rock Johnson and Gal Gadot and
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. It's actually really good. Anyway,
but he's
so
playing himself in that one too, I guess.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like got his own thing now.
That's his
signature thing.
And it's got your typical tropes of a rom-com of the like they're forced together because of some circumstances, and at the end they end up falling for each other, but just the way it's done is like how it's a whole big lie, the whole thing, and he has to go back home and obviously like some family issues and stuff, but there are a lot of funny parts throughout. And the Oscar from The Office is in it, and he's really funny. Because they are in Alaska, and they're on like this remote place of Alaska, and his family like owns everything. And the Oscar from The Office plays like he's everything in the town. He's like the general store person. He's the caterer for the town. He's also the town stripper.
I don't remember that at all from that.
Yeah, he's the stripper for the town. He's also the general store person. He's also the caterer. Like he does everything. And so Sandra Bullock like sees him like for the first time as the stripper, like when she's like her bachelorette party or whatever, and then like throughout the town he just like it keeps popping up, like she's like goes to the general store to like get something, and he like is ringing her out at the cashier. She's like, hey, remember me? And she's like, oh yeah, hi. And then like catering at the party, she's like, would you like something? And like Gilliard's like, what the, why are you? So
honestly, that doesn't, I don't remember any of that. That doesn't ring any bells for me.
Yeah, but it's really
all
funny.
I remember, the biggest thing I remember from that movie is Sandy Bullock and Betty White doing like a rain dance sort of thing, and she starts
singing like
to the wall,
like
the window, to the wall,
to the wall.
The sweat drops down my ball. That's all I remember about that movie. And who's the person? I can't remember, the actor or actress. I can't remember if it's someone I know or not, who's like investigating their like
marriage. I don't know the actor's name, but
is
yeah,
that
he's
guy
like
who's like in Pitch Perfect, and he's always like an inquisitive guy about something. Is that the guy?
I have no idea.
You know what I'm thinking about? You know what I'm talking about? The
No.
guy from Pitch Perfect with Elizabeth Banks, who like they're commentating on.
No,
the,
not that
not
guy.
that guy. Okay, that's
Yeah.
who I in my
No.
head was like the agent.
No, it's not that guy.
the,
But
like,
yeah, the
the-
whole point of being investigated, like she was going to be deported back to Canada, so she faked that she was
It's just
getting
not
married.
like that crazy. It's not like, oh my god, I gotta go back to Canada. It's like you're not going to like
Well, I mean, she was like a
war-torn country or
huge
something.
head honcho at a editing like publishing company.
She can't run her giant. Like, they can even run. There's cities there. You can run it from Toronto. You're fine.
But
No, I know,
Will,
I know.
ruin the movie, Will.
I'm just saying.
But this is actually a rom movie,
It
unlike
is
the
a
Parent
rom.
Trap. So go ahead.
Hold on. Hold the phone. Okay. You say there's no rom in Parent Trap. Okay, let me pull out my thing here that says all the rom that's happening. Okay.
The Lohan.
The Lindsay Lohan playing herself and her twin. Technology. Amazing. So
Her British twin.
yeah, British twin.
Yeah.
Which yeah. But there's
Have you guys seen
rom-
Lindsay Lohan recently? She looks horrible.
No, she's making she looked horribler. She's making a comeback now. She's doing all right.
Horribler.
The
More
Here on
IMDb
Brothers
picture
Thrice,
of
we
her-
come up with new words for you.
Horribler.
The IMDb picture of her is Lindsay.
Well, that's probably not a good picture. Either way, so in the Parent Trap, there's rom between the newly found sisters. They start, being very not. I guess that's not rom. Okay, sorry, that's just love. Sorry,
What Parent Trap are you watching?
Is that the original?
I got it confused with rom being love versus rom being romance. That's the difference. There's a distinction there. I apologize.
Whatever.
So
So
this
this movie's 2 hours long.
I've watched it more times because
You have to set up the
whole point
the traps.
What
The
traps?
Parent Traps.
Yeah,
Oh, the
she's
trap-
trapped.
oh.
The trapping the parent.
I
that's
think
not
you're
fit-
thinking of Home Alone. Kev.
Macaulay Culkin is not in this movie.
So the rom happens because they're trying to get their parents back together, and they're trapping them.
Right.
And there's also rom between the butler and the maid, the separate
But that's
butler and
so
maid.
off to the side where it's just like
I'm
they're
just saying
like
there's rom in the movie. That's just examples
Sure.
of rom.
There's rom in Star Wars. Does that make that a rom com?
It's not the main focus of the movie, though. The rom is not
Oh,
the main
but the
focus.
butler and the other lady is the main focus of the
parents.
movie.
The parents that are being trapped is the main rom. That's what I'm saying.
He's just saying that there's just an addition of Rom.
Addition of
I
rom.
guess so.
It's not the main focus of the movie. The main focus of this movie is to have the parents fall in love again, and they do.
I would say the
Spoiler
main
alert.
point of the movie is the realization of family, not
Well,
necessarily.
that's the first.
love.
That's the beginning when they're for some reason they go
No,
to
the whole
same
thing.
Summer
They
camp.
want them to get back together, not so their parents can get back together. So now that they can become a family, not because they want their parents to fall in love with each other. They want a family unit.
Yeah, but the parents have to fall in love for that to happen. So it's
Right,
still
but that's not the
happens.
focus of the movie. The girls don't
It is
care
the
if their
focus.
parents are, in love. They want a family unit.
I'm pretty sure they care.
That's
if
just
they're
a
in love.
byproduct of that.
Yeah, but you don't love somebody. You're not going to make a family unit. They have to fall in love for it to work.
Yeah, but that's so their
You're
goal
splitting
is to get
hairs. You're
their
splitting
goal is to
hairs.
get the family unit together because now they met their
Parents together.
twin.
They're
Right.
It's called
Well, now you're
Parent
splitting
Trap.
hairs.
It's called Parent Trap. They're trying to trap the parents so they can then fall back in love. End quote.
Yeah.
When did the quote start?
Right, but when I first started talking.
You didn't say you didn't. Okay.
Is this on the record? Also, I know M pointed this out to me too, that the beginning of the movie starts with the song "The L is the way you look tonight." The love song. I don't know.
That's
It's
how you
about,
spell love. Yeah.
yeah, but the song,
LOVE will.
the song I can't remember how it goes, but it's that's how it starts the movie, and then so that's
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone can ever adore.
Exactly. So they spelled love in the beginning of the movie, which is love. Valentine's Day,
Nice.
baby. So that's Parent Trap. And Lindsay Lohan's. I've watched the movie so many times. M is obsessed. Like if it's on constantly, like on Freeform or whatever. And if we flip past it, we have to watch it, no matter what part it's at. It's kind
It's
of
like Mom with The Fugitive. I didn't kill my wife.
That's a cool movie.
That's a great
That's
movie.
a rom-
that's
a
not
rom.
that's not a movie that goes on TV a lot though. That's like I feel like I've never seen it.
I feel like I've
didn't
seen
kill
that
my
movie
wife.
more than
I've seen
any movie
that
in my entire
and
life.
that and Shawshank Redemption. I've seen the most, I think, of every TV movie ever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because it was always on TV. The Fugitive was always on TV, and Mom would always flip around, and it would be on there. It would be on for the entirety of whatever was remaining, and then Mom would fall asleep within 5 seconds of the movie being on the couch.
Andy Dufresne.
That's Shawshank Redemption.
No, I know.
I didn't kill my wife.
I feel like
one arm man.
before we get Brian to vote on which movie moves on, of these two movies, one of them's a remake, one of them's an original. So just you keep that in mind.
Are you sure the proposal is not a remake? Because that sounds like something that could be remade. It's not a very complex idea.
I don't know.
You might be
Sounds
saying
like
stuff,
one is a one might be
saying-
a straight ripoff. The other one is a
remake is
tropes
not a
of-
ripoff. It's just a remake. But I hope you're saying these things because Brian, look it up. Proposal, if the proposal a remake, because it's I think it's
I
one
don't
of those
think so.
things. No,
I'm
Okay.
sure there's a movie
I'm
with the word proposal in it.
No,
but
I know.
not-
I'm
I'm
saying-
scrolling around. It all just says 2009. They're all 2009.
I'm just saying that Kev was very positive about that without actually knowing for sure because it's
I know for sure.
all right. Well,
Well,
that's
there
irrelevant
is
on whether you like it
another
or not.
movie. There is another movie called Green Card from 1990.
Ooh,
A man wanting to stay in the U.S. enters in a marriage of convenience, but it turns into more than that. So
it's not
But
really
it's different. It's different. It's
Yeah,
a
and
lady.
that's
And
It's
and-
a lady, and it's
Yeah,
Canada.
But in Parent Trap, I'm sure they weren't like redheaded sisters. They were probably something
No, they were
else in the
blonde
original.
sisters.
So boom,
So-
it's different. It's different. Because
Anyway.
the proposal's fun, but I gotta defend my lady. It's one of her favorite movies, Parent Trap, for me. Bri, or I guess for Kev, are you sticking with yours?
I was sticking with proposal.
Okay,
it's,
Bri.
it's too good of a movie to not pick.
yeah. I'm going with the proposal as well. I think it's a better movie, and it's
It's
got
fair.
the Queen, Betty White.
Betty,
Betty, it's true. I miss her. I actually cried a little bit when she passed away. I was very
it was
sad.
so sad.
'Cause
17 days
she
short.
was so freaking close to the 100. Not that you need to be.
Yeah,
100
she was
to-
100. She made it.
I know. Yeah, I don't care. She did.
Yeah, the world collectively agrees.
And next up, and I think if I'm not mistaken, this is a Julia Roberts face-off, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, it is.
Didn't even mean for it to happen. Just laid out that
Wow.
way. Number 3, Pretty Woman, which is Bree's pick, right, Brian?
correct.
Bree's number first pick, yeah. And versus
Yeah.
Crystal's
my-
number 2.
my best friend's wedding, a Julia Roberts face-off, and I'm gonna play the role of Kevin this time because I've probably never seen both these movies all the way through. I've seen scenes from both, no idea what they're actually like. I know what they're about, but like, can't think of any specifics. So
Yeah.
you don't
Well,
have to do the whole. You don't do the whole thing. Just do the synopsis if you need.
I'm gonna do the main bullet points of Pretty Woman because I feel like everybody knows this movie.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts, she is a prostitute in Los Angeles. Richard Gere comes to town for his big business stuff. He like buys and companies and sells them for parts, and he's has a lot of cash. So anyway, so he picks her up from the corner looking for directions somewhere, and then they get to talking in the car, and then he's like, you know what, why don't you come on up to my fancy schmancy
Why don't you
hotel
touch my people?
and yeah, why don't you, but it didn't start out with touching the peepee, and that's what
Oh.
she's used to. It slowly developed into the peepee, but it started out with just more of a companion kind of thing,
It eventually gets to the pee touching, but
Oh no, you get to the peepee for sure.
the pee gets touched.
So then he's like, you know what? Why don't you stay with me for the entire week and I'll pay you whatever you want.
It's like it's
$3,000.
It doesn't sound. It's very kind of skeezy when you're like when the way it's described. It's like, oh, I hired this prostitute, I pay her to hang around because I'm lonely or something. It's like, Ew, get your
Yeah,
gear.
but it's still the PP. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, I just want a friend or someone to talk to. Like he's still having sex with
Yeah,
her.
but it's someone who
So-
hires a prostitute. I'm not like, yeah, that's a cool guy.
George
Who-
Costanza's
well,
in
no.
this movie.
Yes, he is, and he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Jason
had no-
I mean, he.
Alexander.
No idea.
But I
he's
don't
in
know.
this.
Well, is he really a misery? I mean, he just like tries to like have sex with the prostitute, and that's like.
Oh, you mean
what-
without consent? That doesn't make him a piece of shit, Kev?
No, it's not without consent. He was like, so like, oh, we don't like. He thought that like Richard Gere paid for her to like have sex with him too. So he was just like, when are we doing this? Like the horse racing thing. I've only seen this movie.
That's not what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Ghost.
like, yeah.
And then Whoopi comes in, right?
And Whoopi
Yeah.
can the only person who could see Patrick Swayze, right? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and Whoopi Goldberg is also a prostitute in that movie. Yeah. No, Jason Alexander goes to the hotel and confronts Julia Roberts in that, like, because he thinks that he's distracting Richard Gere from the big acquisition in the company, because all
Big
Jason
business.
Alexander wants is big business and money. So he's like, oh, well, you know what? You're just a whore. Why don't you, why don't I tumble around with you too? Huh? And then he like tries to attack her, and then she's like, no, get off me. And then he's like, oh, come on, you're a whore.
No, get off me.
Yeah, and
Get
then,
outta here.
and then Richard Gere punches him in the face, and then they fall in love and everything. Like it started out
The
with
biggest thing with the I know is the pearl box, and then she snapped.
Yeah.
That's an outtake that they actually put in the movie, because like he did it
Yeah.
and then she laughed, and then like they kept it in.
it was unscripted.
So you
Unscripted
watched
moment.
behind the scenes of a movie you've never seen.
No. I listened to a podcast with Jason Alexander talking about it, and he said that was the
Wait,
part.
so you listen to a podcast with Jason Alexander. He's talking about a movie he's in, and you don't know he's in this movie?
I forgot. I'd never seen him in the movie. I've seen scenes of this movie all the time. Not all the time, but I've seen scenes of this movie. Her in the bathtub, her with the pearls, her in the shop trying to buy a dress, and everyone they're like, no, you can't buy that dress. You can't afford it, or that's all I've seen. I've never
Yeah.
seen him in the movie.
That's
but-
basically the movie.
no,
Yeah, pretty much. What's the whole thing with the hamster and Richard Gere's butthole? Is that a
A
thing?
gerbil, I believe.
Oh, whatever.
What?
There's a thing. There's
You
a
never heard
rumor
that, Kev?
that
No!
Richard Gere put a it was on Family Guy and stuff. They had like Richard Gere put a gerbil in his tush for sex reasons, I think.
Yeah, you never heard that? It was the whole thing.
No.
I think South Park did a whole thing on it too, where they had like a gerbil in someone's butt, and like the gerbil had to went on an adventure inside someone's butt. It's a whole thing. Look it up.
Yeah, it was like a big
I'm so
scandal. that
curious.
Richard Gere
Maybe
used
don't
it.
Google it. Maybe
I don't want to
Google it.
Google it. I don't want to Google it.
Just take our
it's
word
it's
for
some
it, yeah.
weird rumor, I think, but it's definitely a thing.
He's denied it. He's denied it.
Of course you're gonna deny it. You're not gonna say, yeah, I did
big
it.
time. Yeah, but still.
Why would
Yeah.
you put,
So-
wouldn't it die?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it would. There's like no oxygen in there, and it's just like methane,
Methane.
gas. So it would just die. You'd have a dead rodent in your butt.
Poop out a dead gerbil.
And also, like, how pleasurable is that for you if there's a gerbil being like
Scratching at your colon.
digging around in your colon? Jesus.
What?
He's a freaky
Okay,
guy.
can we
He
change
hires-
the
He
subject?
hires prostitutes and puts gerbils in
Yeah.
his butt.
What?
Richard Gere's a dirty man.
That
Right,
was another deleted scene. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pretty Woman.
He actually
and
meant
then-
to. He actually meant to pull down further down the street to the pet store, not to pick up the girl in the other corner.
Ah, gross.
All right. So then the other
Well, that's
movie
Pretty
is
Woman.
what's the other movie?
My best friend's wedding.
Breast
My
Friend.
breast friend.
Best friend's wedding. Yes.
I heard it too. My breast friend. All right.
My best friend.
Give me the synopsis, Kev, because I know it's
Yeah.
Julia Roberts and Cameron
Julia
Diaz.
Roberts. Yes, Julia Roberts and I don't know his name, but Russell from New Girl. He's also been a whole bunch of other things.
Dermot
Uh,
Mulroney.
Oh, Mulrooney, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a face.
So they're best friends, and like they've been friends for a really long time. And
Best
then
friends.
like she always had feelings for him, but never really said anything, and blah blah blah. And then like he calls her out of the blue and says he's engaged to this girl, and she's like, and he asks like for her to like obviously to be invited to the wedding. So she goes and she meets this new, and like it's a really quick thing, like it's gonna happen right away because she's like
Isn't that
super
Cameron
rich or something.
Diaz? The
Yes,
other
Cameron
lady's Cameron
Diaz is the other
the best friend.
no,
No. The lady
Julia
who's
Roberts
married.
is the main character.
Yeah.
The best friend is what's his name?
Dermot Mulroney.
He's her best friend.
What?
Yeah, that's
the whole thing I thought was that her best friend was Cameron Diaz, and then she was stealing her
No.
man from her best friend.
No.
No,
Oh wow. See, I don't know
she
anything
never
about this
meets.
movie.
She never met her before. She's
Oh,
best friends with him,
And
and
she's
she
the
loves him.
she's the girl the girl getting married to him.
Right, and
Correct.
she tries to
That's
See,
everything
that's how
she
much I knew
can.
about this movie. I really thought they were the best
yeah.
friends. The girls
No.
that Cameron Diaz and her were the best friends.
No, she
See, I didn't
tries
see
her
it.
best to ruin the wedding, and like does all these things to try to get in her way and like ruin the wedding so that
That's rude.
like get
It's for
Russell
love. It's for the rom.
to love her, to realize she thinks he loves her, and she's trying to get him to realize that because they've had so many good times together, blah blah blah.
Too late
and-
there, Julie Roberts. You had
Yeah.
your chance.
And
What are
then
you doing?
the whole like culmination of it is like you've probably seen the scene or heard of it, is like she goes into the bathroom at some, I think, Fenway Park, I don't know, one baseball stadium, and Cameron Diaz, and then Julia Roberts goes to like apologize because like the whole like crux of the movie is she kisses Russell, and Cameron
Already.
Diaz sees her see this happen.
Oh, shit.
So she runs like this is I was on the wedding day. She runs away.
That
like,
bitch.
bad. Then Russell, I don't know his name. I'm just gonna keep calling him Russell.
Dermot Mulroney.
Russell, it just sprints after her, like to like catch her and be like, hey, like this is not like she kissed me, blah blah blah, like that whole thing. And then she is chasing him. So like she calls her friend, who's the bad guy from Dunstan checks in.
Rupert Everett.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I said because I saw the scene. I saw the scene where he's actually gay, right, in the movie.
Yes, he's gay in the movie,
And
she
yeah,
like
she's pretending to be like the boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
And then they sing at a restaurant. That's what I remember.
Dunstan checks in.
Yeah.
Isn't that the movie with the
When I
orangutan?
saw- yeah, when I saw that scene,
and Jason Alexander.
yeah, oh yeah, 5 degrees of Jason Alexander.
and Charlie from the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
and isn't Pee Wee Herman in that movie too?
I believe so.
Oh, and
Anyway,
Yeah. He's
Bringing
the
it back.
exterminator guy.
so he's the friend. Her
That's the
friend.
next
that's
movie.
all.
It's
That's
Duncan
all
checks in.
That's all I said when I saw that scene with. And we watched that scene when they're at singing at the restaurant or whatever. I'm like, that's the bad guy from Dunstan checks in, and M hates monkeys and apes and things. She's scared, so she's like, I've never seen that movie and I never will. I'm like, that's the bad guy from Dunstan checks in.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
he doing?
Great
Is he
film.
alive?
I'm sure he's alive. He's not that
He
old.
alive?
The monkey?
No, the Dunstan guy.
Anyway, well, I'm gonna keep going.
The
You
movie
look
for
up
this
that guy.
movie.
Dunstan checks in was released in 1996.
Great movie.
Lord Rutledge, Rupert Everett. Is that who you're trying to figure out is still
Yeah,
alive?
is he
Rupert
alive?
Everett? Yeah.
He's probably like
Um,
60 something.
No, I bet he's maybe.
Yeah, he's 62.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He's not that old. Anyway, so she calls him while she's chasing after Russell, while Russell's chasing after Cameron Diaz, and she's like screaming at him, and he's like at a book reading, and he's like trying to be quiet, but like she's like screaming, and he's like the whole like point of the realization of the movie. He's like, so he's chasing her. She's like, yes. And he's like, and you're chasing him. Yes. Okay. Who's chasing you? She's like, no one.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Take a hint. No one's chasing you.
Ooh.
So like at the end, like
Dunstan, the Lord, whatever he's got some
Yeah.
knowledge.
gets some dropping
Lord
some.
Rutledge.
So the whole like Cameron Diaz obviously doesn't have any friends or something, so she asked Julia Roberts to be her maid of honor after meeting
after
her for
she
45
kissed
minutes.
her husband or
No. That's in the beginning of the movie. She asked to be the maid of honor. So she used that place of power to like try to ruin the wedding.
Oh, gotcha.
But then at the end, she like realizes it, and she like gives a great speech, and really sets it okay. And then her gay friend comes to the wedding to like help her and like dances with her, and like it's just kind of like realizing that like her time has passed.
She's got to work.
And
She didn't. Herself.
She didn't get the guy, so that's how it ends.
And
So
sometimes
it's a
it's okay to end
rom-com
that
that doesn't end with the people getting together.
because if Cameron
Doesn't end with
Diaz,
the rom.
if you saw like throughout the movie that Cameron Diaz was like a piece of shit and like she wasn't good for him
Yeah.
kind of thing.
No,
But
she was
seems nice the whole time.
Yeah, she's nice the whole time. She's
So.
like she's just generally
Normal,
like a
nice
nice
person.
person. Yeah, and throughout the movie. So it's just
So it's
you
really
know,
more
she
Julia
realizing.
Roberts is just being nasty.
Right, the whole time. And then she's like figuring out like at the end, it's like, well, obviously he loves her, so why am I
Right.
gonna get in the way with that?
I
And then
like
that's
it. I like it.
Tis all.
Cool.
Tis
Uh,
all. The
you guys-
showdown between
The
Julia
Julia Roberts showdown. What are you guys sticking? Both
Mhm.
sticking with your choices?
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
sticking.
the one thing I like this movie that bothers me, and I don't understand. It's not that big of a part. It's the more like the beginning of the movie. You know how like in '80s movies and early '90s movies they have like the weird like intro for no reason. That's like where like
Like
they'll
all the
like all the names of the people are like coming up,
Yeah, they don't do that
like
anymore.
who's in it.
Yeah.
Well, this one has like a weird song, and it's like this lady in like a wedding dress, and like she's got like her bridesmaids, like are all singing the song, and I can't sing it, but like it's in my head, and it's so like it just gets stuck in your head, and
Seems like a you problem.
it's
the
no,
movie
it is
problem.
100% a me problem. I just don't like the beginning of the movie, because also too like Crystal and her family, like her mom loves this movie. So when we were over for like I don't know Christmas one year
Bless
or
you.
something, they
Thank you.
watched the movie, and then like either they both fell asleep or one of them fell asleep, so they just let the movie play again. And I obviously didn't fall asleep, and I was just like playing a board game or like playing on my Switch or something. So the movie played back to back, and I was just like, oh my god, the song is starting again. It was just the whole thing. But
You
other than
couldn't-
that,
you
the
couldn't
movie's
grab
great.
the remote? So you're sticking with yours, Brian? You're sticking with Pretty Woman?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to choose
Pikachu.
I'm gonna choose my best friend's wedding. That's it, right?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't even know that. I've seen scenes from both of these movies, and I think the best friend's wedding seems more of a rompy fun time than the whole Richard Gere thing, hiring her just kind of like hiring her as a prostitute, just kind of like hang around, and like it just seems like I don't want to cheer for that kind of guy who's like skeezy and like will hire a prostitute, just like hang around, just like have her when he wants kind of thing, and not like
Yeah, that's fair.
he's a big businessman and stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna have this woman here when I wanted to do pee touch, and like but obviously it develops more than that, obviously, but that's the whole movie. But it
wasn't just the peepee touch. It was like he took her to like events and stuff so that he could have somebody
it was just
there
like
with him.
I don't know. I get it,
But
but
at the end of the
also
day, it was
don't
peepee
get it.
touch.
So then when the gerbil comes in, that's when the movie gets real weird.
That's in Ghost. Okay. All right, we're gonna take a quick break and be right back, and we'll finish off this bracket real fast. Like,
Gra.
Brothers Thrice.
and we're back at the top of the order here. We have the bye number 1 seed Titanic, Crystal's number 1 pick.
Celine
Versus
Dion.
Salon Dijon.
Salon Dijon. Versus number 8 pick. So it's like 1 versus 8. Princess Bride moved on to this bracket. So, Kev, this is your ladies' pick. Obviously,
Yes.
everyone and their mother has seen Titanic. It's one of the biggest movies ever.
Yeah.
Right next to Avatar and Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Three
Well,
top
I mean,
movies.
this is not only Crystal's favorite like rom-com it's not a com, just rom. It's
This
her
movie,
favorite
period.
movie, period. It's the longest movie in like the world, but she loves it and she's watched it a lot of times.
That sounded like a little anger bite. Like it's the longest movie in the world.
It's
And
just
I've
so
seen
long.
it so many damn times.
It's 3 hours and 14 minutes runtime.
Jesus.
Oof.
Well, what's wrong? What's longer,
Damn.
that or Avengers Endgame?
It's got to be close.
It's definitely close. It's definitely like 3 hour plus. In one, it's Titanic, and the other one is every Avenger assembling and Thanos getting dusted.
Oh wow, Endgame is 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Wow,
Titanic is longer than Endgame. Titanic is
12
longer
minutes
than-
longer.
Titanic is longer than a movie that has like 20 something movies leading into it. This one's longer than it.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
the Irishman that
shave-
just came out, the mob movie with Al Pacino and
Irishman.
that's it has
And
Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro.
Niro.
That's 3 hours and 29 minutes long.
Jesus, I watched that. I don't remember it being that long. Jeez. Well, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. So it's like as long as in the theater. I'm sure I like went to the bathroom and ate food and
It
kinda,
paused it and
went
stuff.
on my phone and didn't pay attention half the time.
Yeah.
So Titanic.
Well,
we
what's
know
that
that's
other,
about
what's
it.
that other movie? Well, the Ten Commandments from like the 50s
Oh, that has
or
an
whatever,
intermission.
That's 3 hours and that's 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Holy
That's-
shit! And it was on TV, so it was like commercial breaks too. So it
Oh
was
my
like,
god, that's gonna be
that's
like a
like
7-hour
fair.
movie.
on Easter or whatever, Easter and Passover weekend or whatever. That
Yeah.
movie is on all day because
it's only
always
once.
playing
because
live.
it's just one showing.
Let
Well,
my people go.
Titanic is, I feel like, one of the more classic movies. I feel like
Oh, yeah.
even when I learned recorder in 3rd grade, we Your Heart Must Go On is what we learned to play on the recorder after Hot Cross Buns. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That video is so good.
so I mean, I feel like it's one of those things that's just ingrained into pop culture
Oh,
that you just know. Like, I'm king of the world. Like, that's how with Leo.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
hand on the glass.
hand on the glass.
Sweaty hand on the glass.
I mean, I
Talk
mean,
about
I
pee-pee
probably
touch.
say it.
Pee-pee. Yeah, pee-pee touch.
I feel like
Beat you, bro.
I say it more times than it doesn't even make sense, or like draw me like one of your French girls if
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
laying on the couch or something.
Yeah. Did you know
it's-
that drawing was actually done by James Cameron? He drew it.
Wow. I did
I
not
thought you were
know
gonna
that.
say by Leah.
No. He probably can't. If Leo can also draw that way, that seems unfair. He's very talented and stuff, and he can also draw like that. No thanks.
Oh, let him. Maybe he can. In our minds, he can.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a solid rom. You know,
And you
it's
got-
all about the rom.
you got Billy
You got
Zane.
history.
You got Billy
History's
Zane.
involved.
Well, not real history though. Well, not
Yes,
that-
it is.
No, obviously the Titanic is real. I mean, like the whole Jack and Rose thing is not real.
No, it's historical fiction, Will.
I'm just saying that.
But it's based in
Of
history.
course,
The
of
Titanic
course, that's
actually sank. It was actually a ship. All
I
that
know.
stuff.
I'm aware of all
is
those
real.
things. They in the beginning of the movie they show the submarine shot and they transition to the real ship. That's a cool
Yeah.
beginning. That's why James Cameron loves his submarines.
That's right. So it's a solid film. I mean, other than the fact that it's a little too long, but
Yeah, you could shave a lot off of that. Like you don't just show everything all the time. You can definitely, I can make it
It's-
a 2.5
it's
easy.
more-
I can get 2.5 easy out of that movie.
it's one of the biggest memes out there. It's been 84 years.
yeah.
Yeah. That's how long the movie is.
Yeah.
And the guy who finds Rose floating on the door is Mr.
Mr.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's right. Reed
They were
Richards.
alive
They
out
were
there.
alive out there.
Anybody?
Alright.
Let's see. Does anybody know historically what year the Titanic sank? Don't look it up.
1912.
Oh, there you go. Do you remember what
Is it?
month?
December.
Winter time.
No, it's not winter time.
Well,
The
it's
water was
not-
cold.
Yeah, because they're in the Atlantic, the North Atlantic. Like Arctic.
When was it, Kev?
April. It was in April.
It's still gonna be cold though. It's going into spring. Yeah,
Going out of spring and
into
yes,
spring.
into spring,
Yeah,
out of winter. Yeah,
cold
chilly water.
it was in 1912. I didn't know that.
And also
really
the
good.
person, one of the people who died on it, is
Billy
who's
Zane?
yes, Billy Zane.
Oh no, Billy
he
Zane didn't die.
He
didn't die.
survived because he was a
lived.
jerk.
I have a child.
I have a child. I
He
say
just
the whole
stole
time.
somebody's kid and then got on
Yeah,
the.
so messed up. Like
Well,
I put the thing in the jacket. I put the jacket on her. That's a big line. When he's chasing through the
when
water,
he's chasing- yeah.
the gem is in the pocket.
Right.
Mhm.
And then the old lady's
the biggest thing of that whole movie is how many times they both say Jack and Rose.
like, oh
It's
yeah,
obscene.
yeah.
It's like
Cut, you could if you
just
cut
say
all that
he-
out,
just
you'll have
say
a
sh-
solid
oh,
30
easily
minutes you
half
cut in
hour.
from the movie.
easily just be like, hey, like you're so stupid, Rose. Like she knows who she is. Just say you're so stupid. Sorry, it's a lot of Jack and Rose in that movie. So much, it's crazy.
It is. It is.
I think
But
there's a
it
video
is-
online. There's a video online of a supercut of just every time
just
they say
Jack
Jack,
Rose,
and Rose.
Jack Rose.
It's like a 15-minute video on its own. It's crazy.
So there you go. There's 15 minutes. Cut it
Yeah,
off.
Like it's
Uh,
crazy.
you can get it down to 3 hours.
Yeah, at least.
It is like I feel like it's a really classic movie when they could re-release it.
saw it-
And
I saw it in
still
theaters.
do well in theaters re-released. So that's when it's a good film. I mean, it's definitely one of the more classic films.
And the
out
best and
there.
one of the best songs, like the Celine Dion song is like
Yeah, it's
like that movie and that song. Like there's not it was huge. It was enormous how big that movie and the song on their own separately was put on the radio constantly.
Oh yeah,
Salon
Good
Dijon.
stuff.
So I mean, I'm not going to go through more because it is just
Titanic.
Everybody's
people
seen
know.
that movie.
everybody's seen it. It's like one of the highest grossing movies ever, and also, just we'll leave it here. There was room for him on that door as well. So
I don't
Well,
know.
Mythbusters did it, and they
do-
said it was busted. He couldn't fit on there because
The buoyancy.
the buoyancy of
Yeah.
the door wouldn't allow
because
it.
in the
so.
beginning,
And then
he
you
does,
take
He does.
ships.
That's true. They should have taken ships, but he was being a gentleman, dying for her, I guess.
Yeah.
and then I always make fun of this too. When Chris watches it, he like tells her never to let go, and she's like, "I'll never let go," and then she rips his frozen hand off so he
She
could fall to the
means-
ocean.
He means
I'll never let go. As
he
I
means
let
on
It's
the-
go.
in her heart,
in her
Kev.
heart
I
and
know.
in life.
And then she let go anyway because then she got married and had kids, so she let go.
Oh yeah, but when she died, who did she see?
Yeah.
That her poor husband.
Yeah, the husband that she
Fuck
had.
that guy.
Like, yeah, the granddaughter's there, and she's like, "Hey, mom, let me hear about your sexual exploits, but not with my dad at
Yeah.
all. Like, oh no, not
No.
with that's the granddaughter. So not with
Yeah,
her
not
grandpa.
my grand.
Her
Yeah.
grandpa. Yeah, just some random other.
Did
guy.
you love my grandfather? No.
She said that. Beep. Oh
I actually loved this one person I met for a week,
yeah.
and that was it.
On a boat that sank. It was a very traumatic time, but I would love. We had some hot jalopy
We had sex in a car once.
Jalopy sex.
He drew
We had
me.
some
It's Old Man Jenkins. It's
Ford
jalopy.
Model T sex.
All right.
Okay, that's
so
it.
Titanic versus what is it?
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. I do love Princess Bride, but I guess in this kind of category, Titanic would have to take it. I can't go against it. It's a great movie.
Agreed.
Little long, of course,
Titanic.
but Kev, you should
Titanic takes it.
still watch Princess Bride. Really great.
Yes.
Movie. So then next up is then The Proposal versus My Best Friend's Wedding.
Oh.
So Sandra Bullock, Julia Roberts face off. The
Oh
two
boy, these
leading-
are both-
two leading ladies in like most rom-coms and things like that, movies like that.
Yeah.
Been in a lot of them.
I think if I'm trying to embody Brie as well as my own opinions, I'm gonna go with The Proposal because I think that's a very funny movie, and also like Brie loves Sandy Bullock, so I'm going with The Proposal on this one.
I think I would too, just because Betty White. Full stop.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's
but-
pretty much.
Yeah, the end.
Yeah.
There's no Betty White in my best friend's wedding, so I can't be
Uh,
honest and vote for it.
Yeah, I feel like
True.
The Proposal has more calm and also the rom, whereas My Best Friend Wedding has some funny parts, but it's not as funny because it doesn't have Ryan Reynolds in it. So
And Betty White.
anyway,
Yeah, don't forget.
All right, this one going up next is like a heavy hitters matchup: Titanic versus Dirty Dancing.
Wait, was that the next one up?
Yeah,
I
we're
believe
going
so,
back up to
because
the
I go
top.
back to the top. Now this is the quarterfinal, the final quarterfinals or something, yeah, or semi,
Yeah.
whatever.
because whoever wins this is going to go against The Proposal.
Right? No.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh really? Proposal all made it all the
Yeah.
way there. Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Well,
Well,
I
I
haven't
don't
looked
think
at the bracket.
either.
but-
I think either one of these though will still beat the Proposal. I think just on classicness and like
I'm
Iconicness
looking at
alone.
it. So, Dirty Dancing beat Crazy Rich Asians, so it's gonna go against Titanic.
yeah.
Proposal beat Parent Trap, so and it went
And
against.
then
Pro-
Proposal
yeah,
just
and
beat.
Proposal beat.
Yeah,
My
right.
Best
yeah,
Friend's
so it's
Wedding, gonna
Proposal
go on.
against whoever wins this one.
So it's Titanic
Correct.
Titanic versus Dirty Dancing will go to the finals.
Yeah,
This
these
is
are two
tough
very
'cause it's,
classics. Yeah.
very very classic. Both obviously very focused on the ROM.
Mm-hmm.
One has a ship ship sinking around it. The other one has dancing dirty.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Titanic. I feel like it's more of a classic than Dirty Dancing is also a classic, but I feel like the amount
It's more
of
of a
influence that the Titanic had in pop
No, for
culture and
sure.
just in general. Also, it has history in it, which is I'm
Which is
a
your
sucker
thing.
for history. So I think I'm
Technically,
gonna have to go with
everything
that.
is history, though, right? Technically, everything is
no.
history.
Dude, it's a major historical event. I guess if
Okay,
you want to
okay.
say a camp in the upstate New York
That
near a
happened in
lake,
history.
it happened in history, but not really.
And technically, it's a period piece. It came out in the '80s, but I think it's supposed to be it's supposed to be taking place in the '60s or the '70s or something like that. Like it's supposed to be
So one decade. So like
No,
it's a
I
movie
ca-
comes
I
out
think
now
it
and it's
was-
coming out. It's set in the 2010s.
It could think they do that.
That's a period piece.
Technically, it's a period piece.
I guess so. That
Um,
doesn't count. But all right.
well, Brian, what's your vote, Brett? Because I'm still kind of split.
I think I gotta go with the staple in society and like what's pure rom
Pop
and
culture.
Americana in the pop
Culture.
culture. I'm going with Titanic.
All right, well, it's
I
two.
feel like that one.
I was I
That
well,
one's
I
just so-
kind of decided anyway.
so wrong.
I was between because Titanic is like an undertaking because it is very long and it is very like it's a very big movie where it's like obviously it's like the whole ending is like the last hour is pretty much this boat is sinking and it's like it's crazy how
Yeah.
deep you get into it. Dirty Dancing
Also,
is
if you
more-
hate drowning, like the scenes
Yeah,
where
if
they're
it's-
like, it's like coming out, I'd be,
or the when the engineers are like the things are shutting on them and like people just don't get out like that. I remember that freaked me out. I'm like, you just like I guess they up top they close the thing so that it sinks slower, but they're just
Yeah.
stuck and they just drown and it's over. Like there's no way to get out. That's
you know,
terrifying.
you just die.
And the two old people, those are based on real
Oh.
Spooning. I mean, every
Then-
time I think of the Titanic, I just think of the SNL skit on Weekend Update with the iceberg.
Oh, with the Boeing Yang, yeah. Half
Yeah.
my ass is gone.
I hear an Irish cacophony.
Well, it's also the movie is also Titanic's also big on like what do you call it? What's the word? Like just like classist and things like where it's like the fancy people are like
Mhm.
eating good. They're the ones first in the boats, the whole thing, and then all the like how many poor people on that like in the lower levels died and were stuck down there and all that kind of stuff. It's like
Yeah, they like locked
they
it
go back
and they
and
couldn't
forth
get
a
out.
lot. They go back and forth a lot where it's like people are like in their fur coats getting in the boats and other people are like trapped underneath. And then like I remember the one thing that's like cut where like they have the people who work on the boat go in like, hello madam, we are going up to the top deck, here's your life jacket. And then they immediately cut to them just not like on the lower levels knocking on the doors and just throwing in
Yeah.
like a life jacket. Hey, get up top, we're going up top. And it's like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like you have money, you get
poor people. Ugh,
yeah, gross. Irish poor people, ew.
nasty, filthy.
I'm an
Like
Irish poor
potatoes,
person. Woo.
Okay. So then Titanic moves on, even though Dirty Dancing was like definitely a close second for me. I'm like it's like right
Absolutely.
because the end of Titanic, of Dirty Dancing is just iconic and like dance and they left. Oh, it's great. And then so now this is Titanic going up against The Proposal. I don't think we have much to talk about here.
I win again. Well,
No,
Crystal
technically,
wins.
Crystal wins. You don't win it. Crystal has
I
one
win.
Crystal has a
Yeah.
win. This is not your win.
I
Yeah, Kev,
win.
you don't win shit.
So it's like I'll have to go back and go look at our and who wins. Like our actual, I'll get an actual like ticker of the wins because I kind of lost count.
So what are we voting for this one?
Obviously, the Titanic's
Well,
gonna beat the
I said I
Proposal.
wasn't even thought, and technically they're both Crystal's picks, so it wouldn't even matter in that regard. But
Yeah,
Titanic
yeah.
wins. That's fair.
Yeah,
to
for
me.
sure.
I can't fight against that. But
Yeah. I mean, that's like
as long as
the
M
ultimate rom.
as long as M hears this podcast, which she does listen, and I tried Parent Trap, they just weren't into it. It's not me, it's them.
It's not a rom. It's just a com.
There's Rom. The parents have Rom.
It's
the
a
parents,
low hand com.
the low hand com accompanied by the parents Rom.
Yeah, sure.
Barely.
She's gonna be like, you didn't say it right. You didn't put up enough of a fight. I'm like, it was already.
Even if it made it all the way through, is it gonna be Titanic?
No, she knows it. She knows. It.
Can
She
you
just-
imagine the
Well,
Parent Trap versus
It's almost like
Titanic?
Mighty Ducks beating the.
I still don't.
Remember the
That still
Titans.
hurts me. It still hurts me. On Martin Luther King Day, you picked the Mighty Ducks. You're a horrible individual, both of you.
Em was listening to that episode and she was cracking up about how upset you were getting, Kev.
Because like
It's hilarious.
guys,
Let's not
it's-
open this up again.
That's not even close. It's
That was so 2 episodes ago, Kev. You gotta get over it.
it's-
Go watch Ghost and forget about it.
oh,
Yeah,
God.
really.
All right,
Swayze.
Titanic is the top rom-com according to us and our beautiful women.
Just rom, no com,
Yeah,
just
rom.
rom.
There's zero com in the Titanic.
No, I guess not. But it was rom-com / it's just for Valentine's Day. So happy
Happy
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day,
Day, all.
Rom-com.
all. hug your loved one. If you don't have one, that's fine. You there's
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. There's, you know, and if you're alone,
Is
you're
there
not
is there
alone.
is there Broentine's Day? There's
Bromance,
Valentine's, there's a
bromance day.
Romance Day. Yo, hug a
Yeah.
bro.
Sure, I
Hug a
don't think that's a
bro.
thing, but we can make it a day.
Hug a bro.
Yeah.
Hug a gal. Have a lovely day.
Peace.
See you
Happy
next time.
Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's Day. Peace.
Brothers thrice.